So let's make that happen. So I'm going to send a ping message to 192.168.10.10. So we send that message out and we get a response, and we should get a response because I am allowing access through F01 if the source address is 10.0.0.16 or 10.0.0.17. So if we go back to our router then and we do a show access list again, this time we see that our standard access list with the name now received 4 matches on the rule that says permit anything with a source address of 10.0.0.16 or 10.0.0.17. Additionally, if I open up my browser and do a Control-Shift-N to get that incognito window, I can browse to the website at 192.168.10.10, and we should get that website to come up. If I pull up my other workstation now, my Linux workstation that has the IP address of 10.0.0.128, before I was able to ping to 192.168.10.10. Let's try that same thing again here. Ping 192.168.10.10. We get an error message and it says packet filtered. Now what's happening here is we're sending out our ping request. The router is responding with an ICMP error message saying the packet was filtered, meaning that the router is saying, hey, there's an access control list on the interface. I know how to get to the destination, but I'm not allowing you to get to the destination because there is an access control list on the interface we're trying to exit. If I open up my Firefox window again and we open up a new private window and try to browse to 192.168.10.10, we are not going to get there because the access control list is preventing that traffic from getting from my workstation through the router to its destination. Let's go back to my 10.0.0.16 workstation and take a look at the router and see if we have any more hits on our access control list lines. So we're back at my workstation at 10.0.0.16. If I do my show access list again, now we see a lot of hits on the second line of our access list, which is saying deny any. There's 161 matches there. And those are happening because, one, we're sending a ping message from that 10.0.0.128 device. Additionally, we tried to browse to the website, and every time we send a message into the router that gets denied, it's going to have a hit on this access control list, and the traffic will be lost. You can see how the access control list that's applied has all of the matches listed in the parentheses there. And the access control list here, our access control list 10 that is not applied, has no matches on it. If I go into my configuration, let's do show run of INTF01, and I change that and I say IP access group 10 out, we can see what happens here. Let's do show run INTF01. Now I've changed my access control list to be the access control list number 10 in the outbound direction. And the behavior that I experienced should be the same here. I should be able to ping 192.168.10.10 as well as get to the website 192.168.10.10. We can still get to the website here. If I go back to my router and I look at show access list, now the hits are happening on the top access list, and they have stopped on the bottom access list. Now, I've continuously sent the ping message from 10.0.0.128, so we should see the matches increase on our numbered access list, and they should stay exactly the same on our named access list. So let's do that again. That's exactly what we saw. 72 matches go up to 118. Here we have 299 on our deny, and they stay at 299. So we're not seeing any additional matches now on our named access list. It's only happening on the numbered access list. The behavior we experience is exactly the same. If I exit out of here and I change my IP address on my workstation to be something other than 16 or 17, what we should find is that the traffic now will be denied from this workstation. I'll change my IP address to 10.0.0.160. Why 160? I just made it up. It's neither 16 nor 17 nor 128. So let's change my IP address there. We'll verify that it's changed. It's changed right here. And now if I try to ping 192.168.10.10, I'm going to get a message back from my router saying the destination network is unreachable now because I have an access control list that's denying traffic from any IP address except 10.0.0.16 and 10.0.0.17. If I SSH to my router and I remove that access control list from the interface, I'm still able to SSH to the router, even though my IP address is being denied via the access control list. And the reason for that is F00 has no access control list applied at all. F01 has the access control list applied. So when I'm communicating with 10.0.0.1 that's on interface F01, my traffic isn't actually traveling through the access control list. So I continue to have access to my router via SSH on the F00 interface. Let's put these two windows side by side. And on router A, I'm going to go into config mode. Let's do show run intf01 so we can see what the config is. And then I'm going to go onto interface fast Ethernet 01 and say no IP access group 10 outbound direction. And when I do that, we should almost immediately start to see replies from our web server at that point, because now I'm allowing any traffic through that interface. There's no filter on it at all. If I were to reapply that access list, maybe I apply example 1 in this case in the outbound direction. Now our ping messages time out or we cannot get there. If I remove that access list and I accidentally apply an access list that doesn't yet exist, example 2 out. What's going to happen here is nothing, because there is no example 2 access list. Even though I've applied it to the interface, there is no access list called example 2, so I don't filter the traffic. Now, this is somewhat new in the land of Cisco routers. Very old routers on old operating systems, when you did this, they would actually create an access list on the fly and just start denying all the traffic that you're passing through it. So if I accidentally apply an access control list that doesn't exist, the router's default behavior is to allow the traffic through. If I change my access list back to example 1 in the outbound direction, whoops, I spelled access wrong. There we go. Then we immediately see my traffic stop again.